Peace, power, soul, and activation. Give me 1 sec so I can share it to the council. 1 second. Peace, peace, peace. It's the activated AF1, and we are the United Futurtarian Council. And we're going to hit y'all off with this topic, brand new intelligence. See, just give me 1 sec. I got to situate all this stuff real quick. Give me 1 second, y'all. Let me get this right. Let's go here. Okay. Tap in, man. Peace, power, and soul to the council. Yeah, this video right here is going to be called Brand New Intelligence. Brand new intelligence. Because you got intelligent people down here, but they're not branding and making it new. What's new? What's new? AF1, that's next. Tapping into the highest dimensions. Now, when you look at the word new, dealing with the NU, and you got teachers, they're pushing the bureau, they're pushing. Well, when you break down the bureau, right? The bureau is a physical planet that allegedly moves through the solar system in an orbit that is not normal to the orbit of the other planets. So that's what Nibiru means, man. And it's still on a physical realm. That's why we stress intel, because there is nothing else. There's nothing else but intel moving forward. Giving you something. Remember that one term when they say giving you something brand spanking new? Brand spanking new. Everything is old here. Everything that you see, everything that you look at, the technology, right? Technology, the clothing, the cars, the houses, all this stuff is old. It's old. It has to be upgraded with the new, the NU, not NEW. I'm talking about NU, not NEW. The NU, the new. So when you break down the word new, you're dealing with the N and the U. You're dealing with magnetism power. Magnets being attracted to what? Being attracted to the top of the pinnacle. What's the top of the pinnacle? AF1, that's the upper dimensions. Right? Tapping in and letting everybody know that we're down here and we're not playing no games. We are the top of the mind frame. When you're dealing with teachers on the internet, what is the United States of America? Isn't the United States of America number one in what? Military? And it's so funny because I just saw something on the internet. They're like, the United States is going bankrupt. I've been hearing that stuff since I was born. Been hearing that since I was born, man. You can't just believe everything that's on the cyberverse. Or you can do what you want to do. We ain't believing everything on the cyberverse when you're dealing with, these news stations, and they always come up with something next to have y'all metafied, looped in the metaverse. With these news stations, this and that, it's always something. It's never peace. You notice that? It's always something on a consistent level, but there's never peace past a consistent level. Go back and look at every 10 years. Every 10 years something happens. Every 10 years something happens. So it just can't be peace. No, it's not even about peace. Dealing with this three-dimensional realm and dealing with moving forward, the peace is always going to be a mental state of mind. The mental state of mind of peace is going to push peace into the physical realm and what you live in right now. It's going to push you into the physical. The peace is going to push you into the physical once you really tap into what peace is. That's why they say, I have a peace of mind. It wasn't talking about just a piece, like a snippet of your mind. It was talking about your whole mind. It was talking about your whole mind when they said having a peace of mind. Just staying focused and staying connected to ones that's on your mind frame. That's all that matters. There is nothing else on the planet. Brand new intelligence. Brand. What is brand? Go back to the farmers. Remember when the farmers that had their cattle, and what they did, they brand them. With what? Their logo. It was either their logo or it was a sign to let the other farmers know that that was their cattle, right? Branding them, being stamped. That's why when you go back to the forehead, why is it called the forehead, AF1? Because the forehead, they call it the forehead because you can tap into the fourth dimension. The fourth dimension is the first dimension to quantum leaping through any other dimension. So that's why when you're dealing with this, with these people out here, that's why they said the the forehead, because you can tap into the fourth dimension. See, everything is being played out and being groomed for what's going on right now, and it's going on intelligence. The intelligence. Now, when you try to go to war with intelligence and you still dealing with information, it's not going to work. That's just not going to work. Anybody that's intelligent would tell you that, yeah, that's not going to work. So what happens is what these fallen angels do, they go back to the subconscious mind frame of trying to put it in everybody's head to go to war with intelligence. But how you going to go to war with intelligence and you got a smartphone in your hand? You got a smartphone in your hand. You got GPS in your car. You got GPS in your car. You got a smartphone in your hand. You got the PS5 hooked up to everything in your house, dealing with Wi-Fi. But I'm just using that as an example because I'm talking to teachers. Every time we talk to teachers. We don't talk to the zeros because the teachers is the fallen ones. So that's why we talk to the teachers. We don't talk to zeros. So if you trying to go to war with intelligence, you will lose and you will look very, very, very stupid. That's why our minds are always focused and tapped in. Like I say, that one saying, like, we don't want war, but we're ready for it. We're ready for it because who's the jury? See, when you're dealing with brand new intelligence, this is brand new. People are not talking like this on the internet. Who's going to be the jury at the court? The court, who's the jury? The jury is what? The citizens. So I'm using this as an example because the jury's the citizens, right? So the citizens, what? When you're dealing with comments and you're dealing with when you do a gathering, I'm talking to these teachers out here. When you do a gathering and people start to come over there and they start questioning you on where you got the stuff from and why you trying to do this and do that, then you're going to see where power's at. Because I keep telling people power is not money. Money is strength. Like back in the day when the mafia used to say, gosh, I forgot that term. They used to say, muscle. Like, yeah, send a muscle over there. Yeah, send some muscle. Because power's not, strength is not power. Power is dealing with the mind. The brand new intelligence, something that's branded. So what I mean by brand new is something that's branded, something that nobody received on the planet. That's what makes that brand new. Brand new intelligence. The intel coming down, beaming through the atmosphere, beaming through the solar rays. The ray, what's the ray? The rock. going through the rock, beaming down on a planet, going through whatever. It don't matter. It could be a titanium dome. It could be a titanium dome built around the whole planet, and them solar rays is still going to beam through it. What do you mean by solar rays? I'm not talking about the solar flares. So you got solar rays and you have solar flares. Not talking about the solar flares. I'm talking about the rays, the radiation. Go back to the word radio. Broke that word down a couple of times in some lies, but sometimes, like I said before, sometimes you have to pound a nail in the wood instead of using an air gun and shoot it once. Go back to radio. Ray. What is ray? Ray is the rays. What is Ra? AF1, the radiation. The D, what's the D represent? It represents the dimensions, right? Then you go back to the I is the ones, and then the O is in the back, which is the 10. So how ironic is that there's a 10 in radio? Because we've been breaking down the 10 and showing y'all that the 10 represents the fallen ones. That's what it is. See, when you go back to the book of Revelations, what I broke down to the Futurtarians today, and I noticed that it just came to me. So when we did that live stream with the book of Revelations, in the end of Revelations, it was a 10. I'm like, galactical code systems dealing with the age of Aquarius. There's a 10, man, the ones manipulating zeros. Stuff been going on for thousands and thousands and thousands of years. The ones manipulating the zeros, man. Now, when you're dealing with the Greco-Roman priests and everything, and then you're dealing with Rome, the UK, Europe, and stuff like that, people that was really in power, dealing with literature and dealing with the Webster Dictionary and stuff like that. Like, they put all these codes to these words, and now they're being revealed, and they can't do nothing about it because everybody's going to start seeing that shit as codes. Words are codes. Dealing with the galactical code system. Brand new brand. What's a brand? When you be like, if you got a business and you got your logo, you got a business, that's your brand. Was it new? Could have been new. Your logo could have been new. You could have been, it could have been something that was futuristic or whatnot, but that's the brand. But what's the new? The new is not the NEW, it's the NU, because the true new is tapping into your higher mental powers. That's what the new means, tapping into your higher mental powers. That's why, see, when you're dealing with these Greco-Roman priests, and you're dealing with Rome and all that stuff. See, they switched all this stuff for a reason, because back in the day, I'm gonna say allegedly, because you're dealing with Google, Siri, and Alexa, and they deal with information, right? They deal with information. Back in the day, it was already in you. Dealing with Nibiru. When you go to Nibiru, it was already in you, but then what they do is they take that, throw it in the trash can, regurgitate it, and then they'd be like, NEW. That's new now. We don't want the NU. We want the NEW now. That's what we want. So that, and everything's being revealed because everything that we're saying makes sense. It's not like we're talking and it doesn't make sense. See, but if you go on Google, Siri, and Alexa, and you Google the history of NU, literally, that shit might pop up no results. But then when you hear the video, you're like, that makes sense though. See, that's intel. That's brand new intelligence. Dealing with intel. Like the brother Zarea says, show intel. Show us. If you're activated, that's all fine. Whatever floats your boat. You ain't over here, we ain't worried about you anyway. Go do you. Go do you, man. Because when you're dealing with the word you got a zero in it. But you also have that magnet at the end of it. So when you're dealing with you have a choice. You can stay in the middle, or you can tap into the last one and turn that to us. When you're dealing with the word you can be you, but there's a zero and a unit for a reason. Because you can stay in the hamster wheel, or you can move to the you, which is the magnetism, the magnets, and you can turn that into us. So whatever floats your boat, if that's what you want to do, fine. We're going to keep moving forward. Brand new intelligence, because everything has to be branded. When you come with something next, it has to be branded. It has to be in a mental, physical form first before you even start doing anything with it. Like dealing with the Futurtarians, they know what I'm talking about, but I ain't gonna say it on the cyberverse. So you have to have it branded first. Put your brand on it. Put your name on it. Put our name on it. Have everything moving, coming together, being a collective one source, power, frequency, tone, vibration. Because if you by yourself and you brand something, that's all fine and dandy. If that's what's going to help you survive, support your family, whatever, tip my hat to you. But when you're dealing with a collective body and a collective mind, when we brand stuff, we're branding it as one unit. United Futurtarians, one unit. We're branding it as one. Dealing with leaders, dealing with organizations and stuff like that. As these videos start circulating, people are going to see. They're going to see and they're going to figure out that as time goes on, they might be on a deathbed, or they might get older, and they'll see, they might be in an organization and they hear these videos, and then to some of them, it's going to resonate. It's going to be like, man, you know what? They were actually right. Akashic records popping back up in their head. Branding the new. Because that's what we're doing over here. We're branding the new. How you going to do that, AF1? That's classified. That's G, like what Chris Tucker say on Rush Hour? That's G14 classified. But we're going to keep branding the new. We're going to keep moving stuff forward. We're going to keep moving stuff forward, and we're going to keep moving forward. Simple as that, man. And a lot of people that's on the cyberverse, they don't understand that the power that we are projecting out through the cyberverse in the physical, we see it in the physical. We see the power in the physical, right? Just dealing with people, walking through society, right? I see it all the time. Dealing with other nations of people, because when you're networking, what's the net? The Ethernet. Networking, right? You're working on what? Moving through the net. You're trying to catch something. What are you catching, AF1? You're trying to catch a brand. You're trying to brand something. Brand new intelligence. Everything on the cyberverse that not dealing with the Futurtarians, all that stuff old. Everything on there is old. Go on the cyberverse, man. Just go. If you put it like this, if you hear a teacher talking on the cyberverse, they're not a Futurtarian, then go on the cyberverse, then Google what they're talking about and watch 1,000 teachers pop up talking about it. So how did they come with that? How's that next? They ain't coming with nothing next. They just manipulating something that's old. That's all they doing. That's why we're branding the NU. Branding the NU to the next technology, the next intel. So who's worthy to be protected and who's not? See, when you walk around in society and you are really concerned about people around you, and you really concerned, I'm not saying move in society like a fool or a dummy. I'm not talking about that. But when you really start to be concerned, when you get a lot of followings, a lot of a lot of members, a lot of subscribers. If you're a rapper, if you're an actor, if you anybody that has everybody knows you, then you have to move a certain way. You don't have to, but a lot of them move a certain way where what? They need security. They need to feel secure within their own bubble, right? Because you chose that life. You chose to be celebrities. You chose to be leaders. You chose to manipulate zeros. You chose to be a rapper. You chose to be an actor. You chose to be a YouTube what they call them, the YouTube teacher. You chose all that. So when you move around, you got to have your own security. Why would you even worry about security when you can have the whole planet protect you? What the? Doesn't take rocket science. Why worry about your security when you can have the whole planet protect you? You think they're not genetically modified to protect Intel? Everybody's genetically modified to protect Intel once they know what you're talking about, once they heard what you're talking about. That's why we Futurtarians, we sit back and we just laugh at everybody, man, because now the age of Aquarius is out, so everything's being put on the table. Everything's being put on the table on where you need to be at. If you don't want to be over here, that's fine. Then choose to be where you want to be at. You gotta need to be at, and you gotta want where you want to be at. Go do your want. Go over there while we moving forward, man. As time ticks, because when we get to the first 11, man, it's gonna be problems. I see the future. It's gonna be problems when we get to the first 11. It's not gonna look good for a lot of people on the planet, man. It's not. Y'all thought the CV was something. Y'all thought the CV, the JB was something. It's how dumb people are. They still talking about the CV and the JB, and they forgot about the 5 jizzle. Y'all forgot about the 5 jizzle going into 6 jizzle. 5 jizzle and 6 jizzle. They forgot about that. That's how slow these people are. Zeros, nothing, parasites. Y'all all forgot about the 5 jizzle. See how easy that was? See how easy that was to let people, you steer them this way, and they forgot about the 5 jizzle. That quick. Everybody was talking about that shit when it popped off, but they pushed that CV and that JB so hard. They pushed it so hard, everybody forgot about the 5 jizzle. Nobody's even they forgot about it so bad. I still see commercials about it, and I'll be like, y'all motherfuckers walking through these radio frequency waves and y'all's walking through these radio frequency waves and y'all ain't activated. Y'all ain't activated. So what happens when you walk through the 5 jizzles? When you walk through the 5 jizzles, what happens? Everything is enhanced. That's why you feel some type of way when that dude's looking at you. That's why when you have a common cough, all of a sudden you throwing up off a common cough. Then you like, damn, because man, everybody forgot about the 5 jizzle. They forgot, and that's how sip. That's why they zero. That's why I tell the Futurtarians, man, they all looped. And as these frequencies go up on this planet, dealing with the artificial intelligence, trying to match what the sun does, because they have to do it. It's gonna happen. The frequencies has to be turned up, because you're gonna be dealing with 6 jizzle, 7 jizzle, 8 jizzle, 9 jizzle, 10 jizzle. Because the rays from the sun is going to be beaming down so hard on this planet, they have to turn it up so that everything could keep running. So everything can keep running. One sec, brother. Got the brothers of Reyes, a part of the council, tap in. Peace, power, and soul. Go ahead, brother, if you're ready.
Peace, power, soul, and activation to us all FUTURTARIANS. Wonderful breakup and wonderful topic, talking about brand new intelligence. Like how you mentioned before, you were saying that, that the brand ultimately, that ultimately this new intelligence is ultimately branding a whole next format, or it's created a whole solidified foundation for us to, what you say, further, tap into as far as on like a mental level and a soulful level. So everything that is now that we're considering brand new of the end you ultimately is, being pulled in, because that you represents the whole magnetic energy or the magnetic force that we have created by way of our solargy and ultimately our souls and minds. Again, bringing forth again, all of this, future intelligence down to the planet ultimately is again shifting things forward for us, for the greater good, or for the greater thing, for the future things to come, for us to further keep on what you say, looking at, this world as what you say limited, and for us to keep pushing ourselves forward. So everything that is, of the brand new intelligence ultimately is going to keep, further, allotting us more, like I said before, access, alignment in future, what you say, activation, as far as, our bloodlines being even further more activated than us. So that's because again, we're the ones, again, branding this, what you say, within our D, or it's being branded within our DEA to further pass on that, again, that activational trait, or again the further evolvement of junk DNA to further being DEA. So again, us passing on that evolved DEA to, through our children, will ultimately bring forth even more brand new intelligence. So yes, this is Vegetarian's Activation Channel, by Brother AF1. Again, check him out on YouTube as well, Vegetarian's Activation Channel. And yes, a wonderful topic, because again, everything that we are talking about will always be brand new. We're not talking about, the shit that's of the past and the present, because again, we know that we can't really, get much out of that. But what you say, further intel that we can break up out of that, old information that, was put forth in the forefront. So now that we are focusing on brand new intelligence, or, everything of the new, or everything of the next, it just makes, our roles more purposeful, because again, we're the ones as gatekeepers, bringing forth gatekeepers of the soul gates, or the star gates, ultimately allotting the 1111, or for this future intelligence to come down and further activate the planet. So it's only going to keep happening as we further, move forward through time. And again, we're building up power, so that 11111 is going to keep speeding up. The more that we keep on, adding more ones to the equation, the power will only amplify, and again, further new energies, further, what you say, next energies, or further intelligence will ultimately, guide us and push us into that whole next format, as far as being able to, for foundational, format, or for foundational coding. For foundational coding being the, what you say, process of us, again, like we always saying, having to, pull in or attract or discharge those, photons, electrons, and black matter. So I will leave it with that, brother. Everyone, take it.
Going back to Nibiru. Going back to Nibiru, the planet Nibiru. People are literally waiting for that planet to relapse through the solar system, right? Why would you want to represent Nibiru? Think about this for a minute. When you're dealing with the solar system, everything
Oh,
is right. But I'm finna show them why they shouldn't they shouldn't represent it, because everything in the solar system is in alignment. The the only planet allegedly is Nibiru that's out of alignment. So why would you represent something dealing with the solar system that's already out of alignment? It's already out of alignment. If you A lot of people Google Nibiru. I'm using this as an example to show people that when you tap it into something, they don't even know, because they're not activated, so they can't really decode it. It's out of alignment. Everything in the solar system is in alignment, but Nibiru, allegedly, I'm saying if the planet was real, it's out of alignment. So why would you even put energy into something that's out of alignment? Because you're mentally out of alignment. So I had to use that as an example, because now when you're dealing with Nibiru, that's why I tell people, man, when you mess with the Futurtarians, man, when we talk to you and we tell you something, it makes sense. Go Google Nibiru right now, and it's going to show you it's out of alignment. So why would you put energy into something out of alignment? You know why? Because you're out of alignment, because you're not over here in these seats. You're not over here in these seats, so you're out of alignment. Because Nibiru, I keep telling people, man, Nibiru, when you're dealing with Nibiru, it's the moon. You see Nibiru every night. It's the moon. Go back to the Death Star. I know I'm going off topic, but sometimes I just be tapped in, man. But I'm gonna go back to the brand new intelligence. But go back to the movies, Star Wars, when they had the Death Star. They showing you what Nibiru is, man. Nibiru is the moon. Because the moon, dealing with the O, can be moved. How you activate? That's why there's 2 zeros in moon, because moon can be activated by the ones. Ain't no zeros gonna go up there and activate the moon. They're not even worthy to even go up in there. But see, that's for the Futuritarians. Y'all want to hear that? So I did a video on that, man. Go to the Futuritarian Activation channel and go search for that video. But going back to brand new intelligence. Everything that we're gonna do, we're gonna brand it. Going back to the farmers when they brand their cattle, we're gonna put our stamp on it. And I'm gonna give you an example. There was a brother from the East Coast. I think he was from Queens, and he came over here and he started using the Futuritarians, the name. And we like, Zarez went over there immediately. I was like, damn, Zarez, he went over there immediately. And we have to solidify that, because this ain't nothing to be playing with. You know, shout out to the brother Zarez, United Futuritarian Council. He already got that name solidified. So you can't even use the Futuritarians. You can use it if you want to, but good luck. So I'm using that as branding. We're branding everything that we do, man. We're going to put our brand on it. We're going to put our stamp on it. It's going to be a solar council stamp that's going to be branded on everything that we do. Everything from here on out, from forward, we're going to put a solar stamp on there. And y'all going to see it and you're going to be like, man, like, I ain't even, I want to take it, but I don't want to even go through all the hassle, the deal, the process, this and that. It's like, no, because dealing with teachers on the internet, man, that's why we have to brand our stuff. You know what I'm saying? Brand it with the new intelligence. Because dealing with teachers on the internet, man, these fallen angels, they always want to come over here and take stuff. That's fine. No, we might even give you a pass. We might give you a pass if you tell them where you got it from. You're not even telling them where you got it from. That's the sad part about it. I'd be like, man, that's how you know they fallen angels, man. They come over here, take stuff, but they don't tell people where the source is at. Parasites, man, vultures, leeches. That's just the way they are, man. They're not going to change. Trust me, man. I'll be talking to the Futuritarians about this, man. They're not going to change. They're just going to be parasites. They're going until the floodgates come and the solar rays hit the planet. They'll act like they came up with it. They will. That's fine. Whatever floats your boat, because we're going to keep branding. We're going to keep branding that new intelligence. Is going to keep pouring in, so it really don't matter. Because this is the downfall, right? Dealing with these teachers, this is the downfall. Where y'all coming with something next? Okay, go ahead and take it. Yeah, you can have that. We'll sacrifice that. You can have that. But what you gonna come with next? You can't. That's what makes you a vulture, a parasite. The fallen. They already know where it's at. That's why they're going to keep peeking through the window and do their thing, because we're going to keep branding everything, because we have to, dealing with them. That's why we got to keep branding everything. That's why we got to keep everything we do. We have to put a stamp on it, because these fallen angels will take it. And the next thing you know, they talking about, oh yeah, I came out with that. Or, no, I heard that video yesterday. The Futuritarians put out a video like that. But, oh yeah, no. I did see the video, but I was talking about this 3 years ago. Dates don't lie. That's one beautiful thing about YouTube. YouTube, Alexa, Google, Siri, dates do not lie. People gonna find out where the stuff is coming from, man, in due time. And the sad part about it is that they don't acknowledge it. That's why we're gonna keep branding this new intel on y'all, because we gotta keep branding it. We got to keep putting our stamp on it. Going back to the farmers, how they stamp their cattle. Every time that cow has a calf, calf comes out. Once the calf gets to a certain age, he hurry up and stamp that. Shh. You know, but now they don't even really stamp them no more. I'm not sure, but I think they put like clips in their ear or something like that. Or, you know, now
Yeah,
they
they
got
do.
but now they got the GPS. So, you know, if you a rich, I mean, not even rich, but if you a thousandaire farmer, you can just put the chip in them now. You know, chip a file. So now if the cow branches off and goes somewhere, you can just go on your phone and see where your cow's at. 33's gone. He done left the fence. 33 done left the fence. Oh my gosh, he's on Highway 55. Let me go get him before he get hit by a car. See, that's why you gotta brand y'all stuff, man. You know what I'm saying? Well, you ain't talking about y'all, but I'm talking about us. That's why everything we're gonna do, we're gonna brand it. We're gonna put our stamp on it, man, with this next new intelligence. This next new intelligence gonna have our stamp all the way branded on there, and it's gonna be solidified. Because now that we have went through this process in the last, maybe, I say, whoa, shit, even longer than that. Damn, you talking about 2 years. 2 years teachers been over here just taking stuff and ain't even give the source. Because when you dealing with these fallen angels, man, they are parasites. They all parasites, man, and they left their council seats. Their seats are gone. Their name is sitting on the seats, but they're not there. So then we have to knock their name on the floor. That's just, it is what it is, man. You know, so that's why we're gonna keep branding the new intelligence. We're gonna keep branding it, man, because we have to, because we see the Futuritarians. We you know, well, in the last 2 months, it's really been 2 or 3 months. It's really been, man. They come over here, peak. They come. I see you, Cosmos. Give me 1 sec and get you up in here.
Peace, power, and soul.
Peace, power, and soul. So yeah, that's why we gotta put our brand on everything. So I got the brother Cosmos in there. You want to tap in, brother?
Yeah, I want to say something real quick, about these teachers having to do with new intelligence. Everything's supposed to continue to evolve and continue to move on. And, people, tend to take things or get, very emotional about things because they see us holding ourselves highly accountable, meaning forever accountable. You know what I mean? That responsibility, and we're setting examples for how we're supposed to be moving forward, not just, lollygagging or playing around or just trying to get our personal, let's say, I don't want to be too explicit here, but nut off. You feel me? Like everybody want to,
Yep. Tell them how it is. Tell them how it is.
Not a word though. I mean, people want to basically, basically people want to be worshipped in a lot of aspects, or when people just look at them or this and that and that, you know what I mean? Especially when it comes to certain, perspectives and shit, and they want to be tip top when it comes to certain perspectives.
And want to be deified.
Tip top. But we know we tip top, and we know what's tip top because we're always going for what's true. You know what I mean? For the most or for the best, possible, you know what I mean? For the best outcome. You know what I mean? So, people get, jealous and you get emotional and shit like that, basically. That's all I wanted to say, basically. They get salty, basically, because we hold ourselves accountable. You feel me? So, yeah.
Yep, we have to, because now when you're looking forward, man. The past, it's just, all right. When you're in your car, right, and you got somebody riding with you, I'm just using this as an example. You got somebody riding with you that you know that's not futuristic, right? Right. So you might have to use them to move your people forward. But then when you let them off the car and you drive off, you see them get smaller, 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 smaller. And then what happens? They just disappear. Just keep moving forward, man. You take that rear view mirror and throw that bitch out the fucking window and just straight ahead. If you got to look backwards, turn your head around and look backwards. Take that rear view mirror, man. Throw that shit out the damn window. You know, that's a metaphor going back to the metaverse, dealing with the meta, you know. But we've been eating the meta. Man, we've been eating that up for like the last 2 months, man. So we're going to go past that too. Cause now, see, it's so funny because that's how our minds are wired. Like this whole time, I probably said something about meta like once or twice, but in the last other videos, I said a lot of stuff about meta because we slowly just start just going past everything. We just start just going past it. It's in our submental. It's in our up mental. It's in our up mental. We just start going past stuff. We don't even try to like, oh, let me just try to figure out how to go past activation. It's just going to happen. It's just going to happen. That's why we got to brand everything that's new, man, because when you're dealing with these parasites and these teachers out here and stuff like that, that's fine. You know, it'd be cool if they acknowledged it. They don't even acknowledge it. That's the sad part, man. Some of these teachers that took stuff over here, they're millionaires and they still acknowledge it. It's like, y'all ain't fallen angels. You're already solidified financially, but you came over here, took stuff, and you ain't even acknowledge it. That's how you show. It shows you who's who. Shows you who's who and what's what. Right? But Matt, trust me. If I was to sit down, all these teachers, right, that's on the internet, I keep stressing that stuff because now that's why I say a brand new intelligence, because we're going to have to brand the new. We're going to have to brand the next. We're going to have to just brand it. And now as everything rolls on, we're going to just brand everything. Everything's going to be solidified. So then they're going to be like, I can't even say that stuff, man. Like, yeah, because you're going to be in court. You're going to be sitting right at the little court thing. You're going to be sitting there and you're going to be like, yeah. They're going to be like, well, they had this solidified already, this and that. You're going to be like, oh, well, you know, I didn't know what I was doing, this and that. Oh, don't make no victim stance now. Now you a victim? Well, we don't want to hear no victim stance, man. We're just going to keep moving forward, man. And we're going to brand everything that's new, the new technology, the new intel that's coming through, dealing with the FUTURTARIANS. We're going to keep moving forward and we're going to keep everything, you know, because even, we ain't even been talking about putting everything on pause no more. I'm just using that as an example, man. We done went past pause. Now we ate the internet up with the pause button, with the 11 button. We did that for, me and Zarez ate that up for like what, 2 months, maybe a month and a half. We was talking about the pause stuff. We ain't even talking about that no more. Because it's just going to automatically come to us to keep moving forward because we in the future. How you going, when you're in the future, everything's just going to happen like that. Everybody serves a purpose. Everybody serves a purpose in the council seats. Everybody serves a purpose, right? Everybody moves as an individual on one frequency. Let me repeat myself. Everybody moves as an individual on one frequency. So now that everybody's hearing this stuff, because now when these videos start circulating, you're going to have a lot of teachers on the internet in the future. A lot of teachers on the internet in the future, man, they're going to get mad once these videos start circulating because everybody's going to be looking at them for who they are. That's why we have to brand the new intelligence, the next intelligence. We're just going to have to brand it. We're just going to have to keep moving forward because we understand the parasites and the vultures and the leeches and the jackals. We understand all that stuff, man. So that's why we're going to keep moving forward. Hey, Brother Zarez, if you want to tap in, you could go ahead.
Okay. Yeah, so I wanted to continue moving forward with the the whole aspect of branding new intelligence ultimately allows for us to accelerate. So when you're talking about excel, we're basically Xing out the self as far as being on the individual mindset. So we're accelerating or Xing out the self as far as us being a selfie, or again being that individual, or having that individual energy about us that ultimately keeps us limited, that keeps us stagnant. So that's why again we're moving forward as as we's, because it's about the we frequency. Those, again, those W's and B frequencies that are coming down here by way of the accelerated rays coming down to the planet, ultimately speeding things up and ultimately breaking through this atmosphere and ultimately, dissolving it as we begin to further speed things up and again amplify more of that solar energy on the planet. So that's why now, we are looking at, all of this limited information of the humanities, of the belief system, ultimately as null and void. Our minds have basically X'd it out as far as acknowledging it, or basically going beyond that as far as having to accept it for it being reality, because we know that the true reality is coming together a part of the council and bringing forth the collective energy through our synchronized intelligence, being individuals, like Brother AF1 said, being individuals but on one frequency, being individuals on one frequency, which is ultimately true power. It's true power. It also shows significance of a difference as far as everyone wanted to be, again, these macho men and women ultimately trying to be leaders, wanting to be deified, like Brother Cosmo said. Most of these so-called teachers or these fallen ones want to be deified. They how we said before, they came down here and wanted to be leaders, wanted to be rulers, emperors, and whatnot. So all of that was limited, going from a power state where they originally came from versus being limited, here. That's why, again, the brand new is limitless intelligence that we are all going to pull in, absorb in, or, basically, with our soul core induction, basically process that in as these organic cyborgs moving forward. So we're only going to keep on extending soul and mind forward. So again, peace, power, soul activation, or peace, power, and soul activation. Because it's about soul activation in its state. And our souls were activated. And then our minds were activated. And then from there, again, we're moving forward as true power, true, again, sources of this nuclear fusion or nuclear energy of, again, is the collective solargy or collective souls that ultimately have, again, shifted things here on the planet. Because, again, we're only going to, by way of brand new intelligence, again, create a what you say, more destined, a brighter future. We'll use the word brighter, but a more radiant future for, again, these new ones to come up and ultimately to raise the bar higher and higher as, again, this power continues to go forward. As we ascend for the 11111 will still be something that's going to be down here, but way more amplified. Again, talking about the whole transforming and transferring of our souls, again, that whole linear progression or linear ascension of souls and minds moving forward. So I'll leave off with that, Brother AF1, on peace, power, soul, and activation.
Yeah, and I'm gonna touch on what you said when you said we. Remember when they came out with the game, the Wii? Remember they came out with
Yep,
the
I talked
Wii
about that.
game?
Yep. Uh-huh.
Right? But how did they spell it? They spelled it with 2 1s.
Yep, 2 eyes, 2 1.
2 eyes. They spelled see, all this is galactical code systems because that shit was already put in place before the universe was made. That's why they put the 2 1s up in there, the Wii game. And when you ask, give me 1 sec. Hey, mute your phone, Cosmos.
Mike Cosmo.
Yeah, you gotta mute your phone, Cosmos. Alright. So yeah, the Wii game. So when you had said that, on the and another thing that came to me, when you're dealing with the like even dealing with the Wi-Fi. Like the Wi-Fi really the Wi-Fi. The Wii, what's the Wii? The Wii is us. What's the 5? The 5 is the 5 jizzle. This is because this is really, man, really on some this is year 1. Right now is year 1. I ain't even finna go into that though. That, man, people will start glitching. I start going into year 1 and all that stuff. But yeah, we in year 1. But yeah, I'm glad you hit on that Wii frequency. And that'll probably be a video. Either the Brothers of Reyes or myself will probably hit y'all with a Wii frequency video. And
I already got one out.
Oh yeah. My fault. You sure do. You already got one out. So, man, it's gonna keep rolling in. Everything's just gonna keep rolling in, and we're gonna brand it. We're gonna put our stamp on it. Just like when you mail your mail off, you gotta put that stamp on there. Or if you don't put that stamp on there, your mail ain't going nowhere. And they might even put it in a shredder and just shred it. Like, man, we can't even send this back. There's not even a stamp on it. You know, so we're gonna keep moving forward.
Ooh,
I'm
what's
gonna
that one
close
song by
it.
Stevie Wonder? It's called Sign, Seal, Deliver. Oh yeah. Oh, definitely. I stole a sign, seal, and definitely delivered for moving
Right,
forward.
right, right. So, you know, and then going back, I'm gonna leave off with this. I'm gonna leave off with this. This is for everybody that's gonna be listening in the future. Right now, think about this for a minute. Right, go back in the past. Go back 2,000, 3,000, 4,000 years ago, dealing with emperors, kings, queens, prime ministers, um, people who were in power and leadership. Always remember, in the background, the council was running everything. Always remember that. In the background, the council was running everything. That's why when you see these movies and you see these movies, they'll put the council in there, but they won't push it because they know when the collective minds hook up and they in the background, when people can't see them, that's where the true power is at. Peace, power, and soul to the council. It's United Futuritarians. The topic was brand new intelligence. Being brand new. Branding it. Branding what's next, what's new, what's going to move forward. Have to put your brand on it because these fallen angels, they'll take it. They'll take it, run off with it. They'll take it and run off with it. And I'm gonna say this one story. When I was like maybe 6 years old, it was a boy that stayed up the street from me. He was a little bit older than me. He was probably like, I was like 6 or 5. He was like maybe like 10, 9, 10, and he had took my toy and ran off with it. And I was just like, man, this is what the world's like. They'll just actually take your stuff and just run off with it. But see, I had to go through that now because now I see all these fallen angels is taking it and running off with it. That's why we're going to brand it and we're going to keep the new intel, the new intelligence moving forward. Catch us tomorrow, the Brothers of Reyes at 8:30. It'll be 8:30 Central Time. So do the math on that. 8:30 Central Time. Catch us tomorrow. We'll be live tomorrow. We're going to be back on the Cyberverse. I'm going to say we the United Futuritarians Council. Peace, power, soul.